Evening. Got a call about disturbance. Loud party, suspicious activity.
Officer, no disturbance here. This is my home. We're having a cookout.
I told him I called you.
I'm gonna need to see some identification, sir, right now.
It's inside, but can I ask the reason for this? What's the violation?
The reason is I need to verify you belong to this address.
Your choice.
Corinne Mitchell picked up her phone and dialed 911. "Yes, there's a large group of people at the property next door," she said. "It looks suspicious." A man walked over to the fence. He was calm, he was polite. "Ma'am, can I help you with something?" he asked. Corinne looked him up and down. "Who are you? Do you work here?" "I live here," he said. Corinne paused. Okay, sure. Well, I've already called the police. You people can't just throw parties in this neighborhood." "This is my house," he said. "These are my guests." Corinne crossed her arms. "We'll see what the officers have to say about that." She had no idea what she just walked into. In the next 6 months, Corinne Mitchell would face a $3.1 million lawsuit. She would lose her reputation. She would pay a huge settlement. The quiet man in swim trunks she just dismissed was Marcus Johnson. He was a tech CEO. He bought that $4 million house in cash. Marcus had built 3 companies before age 40. His legal team had lawyers who argued cases at the Supreme Court, and the security cameras around his house caught every word Corinne just said. They also caught the 14 other complaints she filed since Marcus moved in. Before I continue, let me ask you this. Have you ever been treated unfairly just because of how you look? Tell me in the comments. Corinne had no idea who she was yelling at over that fence. Marcus Johnson was 42 years old. He was the founder and CEO of a tech company worth $280 million. He started his first business at age 24 in his mother's basement. By 28, he sold it for $12 million. Then he built 2 more successful companies. Marcus sat on the boards of 2 Fortune 500 companies. Forbes magazine named him to their 40 Under 40 list in 2019. He had been in Bloomberg, TechCrunch, and the Wall Street Journal. But here is what Corinne really did not know. Marcus studied pre-law at Howard University before switching to computer science. He sat on the board of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. He had a legal team on call at all times, and he had already won 3 discrimination lawsuits against other companies. Marcus bought his $4 million home 8 months ago. He was the first Black owner in this fancy gated community. He moved there for peace and good schools for his 2 daughters. Now here is what happened next. On this sunny Saturday, Marcus was just trying to celebrate his daughter Aisha's 10th birthday. 30 friends and family came to swim and have fun. That is all he wanted. Corinne Mitchell had a reputation in Westbrook Hills, and it was not a good one. Corinne was 58 years old. She was a retired real estate agent. She had lived in the neighborhood for 22 years. She used to sit on the HOA board, but she quit after too many people complained about her. Here is the pattern. 14 complaints in 8 months. Every single one was about the Johnson house. Let me tell you about a few of them. Complaint 1. Corinne called police on the moving crew when Marcus first arrived. She said there were suspicious men unloading furniture. Police came. They were just movers doing their job. Complaint 2. Corinne filed an HOA complaint about too much noise. The noise was a lawn mower. It was 10 in the morning on a Tuesday. Complaint 3. She called animal control. She said Marcus's dog was aggressive. The dog was a golden retriever in a fenced backyard. Complaint 4. She reported a suspicious vehicle in his driveway. It was his own Tesla. The neighbors had a nickname for Corinne. They called her the Watcher. 6 other residents had complained about her behavior, but nothing ever happened to her. Later, investigators found something important. Corinne had made similar complaints against other families who were not white. One Hispanic family moved away after 2 years of her reports. It is sad, but true. This time was different. This time, Corinne picked the wrong neighbor. Type "finally" in the comments if you think it was time someone fought back. It was Saturday, July 15th. The time was 2:30 in the afternoon. The Johnson house sat in Westbrook Hills. This was a fancy gated community. The average home cost $2.8 million. There were 47 houses with perfect lawns. Marcus's property was 2.3 acres. His home was 8,500 square feet. He had a big pool with a waterfall. The weather was perfect, 82 degrees, clear blue sky. Kids were laughing and splashing in the water. A DJ played fun music at a normal volume. A catering team served food. There was a bounce house in the backyard. A banner said, "Happy 10th birthday, Aisha." About 30 guests were there: Marcus and his wife Denise, their daughters Aisha and Maya, family members and friends, 4 catering workers, 1 DJ. Everyone was having a good time. Then at 2:47 p.m., Karen appeared at the fence. She already had her phone out. She had been watching from her window for 45 minutes. She already called the P. Alice before she even talked to Marcus. If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button. You will want to see how this ends. Marcus walked over to say hello. He had no idea this would become the most important moment of Karen's life, and not in a good way. Marcus tried to be polite. Karen did not care. "You need permits for a party this big," Karen said. "We have permits," Marcus replied. "I filed with the HOA 2 weeks ago." "I don't believe that," she said. Marcus stayed calm. "The music is at a normal level. It's 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday." Karen got closer to the fence. "I know the rules here. You obviously don't." "I've lived here 8 months, Mrs. Mitchell," Marcus said. "I've introduced myself to you 3 times." Karen shook her head. "I've never seen you before. You people all look." She stopped herself, but everyone heard it. "Finish that sentence," Marcus said quietly. Karen's face turned red. "I'm calling the HOA president right now." "Please do," Marcus said. "He's inside. He's my daughter's godfather." Karen froze. "That's not possible." "You're welcome to come check," Marcus said. By now, other guests had noticed. Marcus's wife Denise started recording on her phone. A guest named Gerald Thompson stepped forward. He was recording too. A neighbor named Patricia Williams walked over. "Karen, you need to stop," Patricia said. But Karen did not stop. She tried to open the gate to the property. Marcus calmly blocked her path. He did not touch her. Karen's voice got louder. She pointed her finger in his face again and again. "I want everyone off this property until the police sort this out," Karen yelled. "That's not going to happen," Marcus said. "This is my home." "We'll see about that," Karen said. "I've dealt with your type before." Parents started moving their children away from the fence. One little girl asked her mom, "Why is that lady so angry?" Here is what Karen did not know. 8 cameras were recording every word. And Gerald Thompson was not just any guest. He was a civil rights lawyer with the ACLU. This was a wrong thing Karen did, and it would cost her everything. Type karma in the comments if you think Karen picked the wrong person to mess with. 10 minutes later, the police arrived. 2 officers stepped out of their car. Officer David Chen and Officer Maria Santos. Karen ran toward them. "Finally," she said, "these people are trespassing." Officer Chen looked past Karen. His face changed. He recognized Marcus right away. "Mr. Johnson," the officer said, "is there a problem here?" Karen's mouth fell open. She did not expect that. Officer Chen turned to his partner. "Mr. Johnson donated the new K9 vehicles last year," he explained. Marcus was on a first-name basis with the police chief. The officers had been to this house before, but not for complaints, for charity events that Marcus hosted. Everything Karen said was now suspicious to these officers. The officers got to work. They checked the permits, all valid. They measured the noise level at the fence. It was 58 decibels. Normal talking is 60 decibels. The party was quieter than a normal conversation. They looked at the guest list. Everything was in order. Then Officer Santos checked something else. This was the 15th call from the same address about the Johnson property. 15 calls in 8 months. Now the witnesses started speaking up. Gerald Thompson stepped forward. "I'm a civil rights attorney," he said. "I've documented everything. This is harassment under California law." Patricia Williams, who had lived there for 18 years, spoke next. "She's been doing this since they moved in. We've all seen it." James Morrison came outside. He was the HOA president, and he was inside at the party. "I personally approved their permits," he said. "We have rejected Karen's complaints 14 times." Dr. Robert Kim, a professor at Stanford, was also a guest. "I was standing right here," he said. "She said, 'You people.' We all heard it." The evidence was piling up. 8 security cameras had caught everything. Denise's phone recorded 7 minutes. Gerald's phone recorded 12 minutes. 3 other guests also recorded. Both officers had body cameras. The HOA had records of all 14 previous complaints. 3 neighbors had Ring doorbell footage. Karen started to understand she was in trouble. She tried to change her story. "I was just concerned about safety," she said. The officers did not buy it. They told Karen something important. Filing false police reports is a crime. Karen tried again. I have a right to report things. Officer Santos stayed professional. Ma'am, a child's birthday party is not suspicious. Karen demanded the officer's badge numbers. She threatened to call someone higher up. She even claimed she was being treated unfairly. The officers wrote down everything she said. By now, Karen's face was pale. She was starting to understand how bad this was, but she had no idea that Gerald Thompson was already planning a lawsuit in his head, and this lawsuit would expose every complaint she ever filed. Let me know in the comments. Should there be bigger punishments for people who make fake reports like this? Things moved fast after that. The officers called their watch commander on the radio. James Morrison, the HOA president, gave them all the paperwork. Marcus's lawyer got on the phone, then something big happened. Police Chief Williams showed up in person. He came because of the pattern of so many calls. The investigation started right away. Officers looked at all 14 previous complaints. They found a pattern. Every single one was about the Johnson house. They checked older records too. Karen had made similar complaints against other minority families in the past. They talked to Karen. Her story did not make sense. She changed details. She got defensive. They talked to 6 witnesses. All their stories matched. Karen's lies fell apart one by one. Lie number 1. Karen said she did not know who lived there, but Marcus had introduced himself 3 times. HOA records proved it. Lie number 2. Karen said the party was too loud, but the sound level was lower than normal talking. Lie number 3. Karen said she was worried about permits, but she never checked with the HOA before calling police. Lie number 4. Karen said she treated everyone the same, but in 22 years, she never complained about a single white neighbor. Not once. The officers made their decision. They gave Karen a formal warning. They filed a police report about her pattern of fake calls. They told the DA's office. Karen could face criminal charges. The HOA called an emergency board meeting. Then Karen was told the big one. She could face a civil lawsuit. She could have to pay a lot of money. Karen went through many emotions. First, denial. This is ridiculous, she said. Then anger. You're all against me. Then bargaining. Can we just forget this happened? Then blame. He's the one who threatened me. But there was no proof of that because it never happened. The party started again after 90 minutes. The kids were confused but okay. Little Aisha asked her father a hard question. Daddy, why was that lady so mad at us? Marcus did not have a good answer. He just hugged his daughter. That night, Gerald Thompson took Marcus aside. We're going to make this right, he said. If you want to see what happened next, make sure you are subscribed. The consequences are just getting started. Because while Karen thought this would blow over by Monday, Gerald Thompson had already sent the videos to 3 news stations. And Marcus called the most aggressive civil rights law firm in California. The videos spread like wildfire. By 6 p.m. Saturday, Denise posted her video on Twitter. By 8 p.m., it had 50,000 views. The hashtag Westbrook Hills Karen started trending. By 10 p.m., local news station KTLA picked it up. By midnight, the video had 500,000 views. By Sunday morning, national news was covering the story. By Monday, the videos had 4.2 million views. News from other countries was talking about it too. Here are the final numbers. On Twitter, 2.1 million views and 89,000 shares. On Instagram, 1.4 million views. On TikTok, 3.8 million views across different posts. YouTube news coverage got 2.3 million combined views. People had a lot to say. One comment got 47,000 likes. She really said you people at a child's birthday party. Another got 52,000 likes. This man donated police cars and she called 911 on him. A third got 38,000 likes. 14 complaints in 8 months. This isn't concern, this is harassment. And one got 61,000 likes. The way he stayed calm while she was yelling, king behavior. Every major news outlet covered the story. CNN, MSNBC, Good Morning America, The View, the LA Times, The Washington Post, The New York Times. Famous civil rights attorney Ben Crump even offered to help Marcus for free. Karen tried to do damage control. She deleted all her social media, but people had already saved screenshots. Her husband released a statement calling it a misunderstanding. People made fun of that too. Karen hired a crisis PR firm. They quit after 1 week because they could not help her. Then 3 days later, Karen made the worst decision yet. She gave an interview to local news. Somehow, she made everything even worse. Drop a comment and tell me, what would you have done if you were Marcus? The lawsuit hit Karen like a truck. Marcus filed on August 3rd. The lawsuit named Karen Mitchell as the defendant. It listed 4 claims: intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation, harassment under California civil rights law, and racial discrimination. The amount he asked for, $3.1 million. But wait, the discovery process uncovered even more. Discovery is when lawyers dig through records and emails. What they found was shocking. Karen had sent emails to other neighbors saying, "We need to get these people out." She texted her husband, "I won't stop until they leave." Old HOA meeting notes showed Karen once tried to create enhanced screening for new residents, and investigators found she had complained about all 3 non-white families in 22 years. The Hispanic family who moved away agreed to be witnesses. More legal trouble came. The DA filed criminal charges, 3 counts of filing false police reports. A court granted a restraining order. Karen had to stay 500 feet away from the Johnson property. The HOA banned her from board positions for life. Now for the numbers everyone wants to know. The case settled in December. Karen had to pay, here is the breakdown, compensatory damages, $850,000, that is for the harm she caused. Punitive damages, $1.2 million, that is to punish her. Legal fees, $340,000. Total, $2,390,000. The real amount was kept private, but someone leaked it. And that was just the money. Karen got a permanent restraining order. She was banned from all HOA common areas for 5 years. She had to publish an apology in the local newspaper. The consequences kept coming. Karen gave up her real estate license during the investigation. Her husband's law firm asked him to leave. Karen pled no contest to 1 count of filing a false report. She got 18 months probation. She had to do 200 hours of community service with a civil rights group. She paid a $15,000 fine. Her apology was criticized as fake and written by lawyers. Karen never spoke publicly again. In March of the next year, she put her house up for sale. Marcus made a statement. This was never about money, it was about sending a message. This behavior has consequences, we're not going anywhere. Then Marcus did something beautiful. He donated part of his settlement. He created a legal fund to help other discrimination victims fight back. That is the kind of person Karen messed with. Marcus held a press conference in January at the NAACP headquarters in Los Angeles. His family stood beside him. His lawyers were there. Civil rights leaders came to support him. Marcus spoke from the heart. "My daughter asked me why that woman hated us," he said. "She's 10 years old. How do you explain that to a child?" He paused. "We moved to this neighborhood for peace, for good schools, for safety, and we were treated like criminals in our own backyard." Marcus talked about what made him different from most victims. "I'm fortunate," he said. "I had resources, I had cameras, I had lawyers ready to help, I had a platform." Then he asked the hard question. What about the family that doesn't have those things? What about the single mother who can't afford to fight back? Marcus had a message for other victims. Document everything, every incident, every conversation, every complaint. Build community. My neighbor Patricia stood up for me. That mattered. Know your rights, and know that you don't have to accept this. He also had words for people like Karen. The days of doing this without consequences are over. We have cameras now. We have social media. We have each other. Think carefully before you pick up that phone. Marcus talked about what he wanted for the future. We're using this money to help others. We're pushing for stronger laws against fake reports. His last words were powerful. My daughter will grow up knowing her father didn't back down. That's worth more than any settlement. This case is bigger than one angry neighbor. Since 2018, living while Black incidents have gone up 340%. Black Americans are 2.5 times more likely to have police called on them for normal activities. 67% of Black homeowners say they have faced discrimination in their neighborhoods. Most victims cannot fight back like Marcus did. They do not have the money, they do not have the proof, they do not have the attention. This case proved something. When victims have resources, they can win. When there are cameras, the truth comes out. When the public pays attention, there are consequences. But we still need stronger laws and real change. So let me ask you, do we accept that some people can be harassed out of their own homes with a phone call? Do we let fake reports go unpunished while victims pay the price? Do we allow "I felt uncomfortable" to be an excuse for treating neighbors like criminals? Because if we do not fix this problem, if we do not make the consequences real, then we are just waiting for the next Karen, the next pool party interrupted, the next child asking why someone hates them. Comment below if you think fake police reports should mean jail time. Tell me your story if this has happened to you or someone you know. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button right now. We are going to keep exposing these stories. We are going to keep demanding better. We are going to keep fighting for the people who cannot fight back, for the families just trying tea. Oh, live in peace, for the truth. This is not just about one angry woman in California. It is not just about one pool party in July. It is about what kind of neighbors we want to be, what kind of country we want to live in. See you in the next one.